Welcome back to Live with RXMuscle's Iron Road to the Olympia 2017, brought to you by Yamamoto Nutrition and Protan. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest is our very good friend and 212 monster, the Boston Mass himself, Jose Raymond.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up? You looking good?
Yeah, buddy. That's the plan. We're 2 weeks away. We weigh in 2 weeks from today, baby.
I've seen a lot of the progress photos Chris Aceto sends me, and I got to tell you, you're looking very dangerous. That's the best way I can describe you.
That's a great word, Dave. Dangerous, because nobody gives a shit. They're counting me out already. I'm an old man. I'm a has-been. I'm washed up. Let me tell you, the minute you start thinking about an old man like that, that's when it becomes dangerous.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of people didn't know that you had a really bad injury in your knee going into last year, and I think that maybe that psychologically played tricks with your head, and obviously you got married last year, so it was a rough year for you in terms of preparing for competitions. Give us a little idea of what you went through getting ready for both the Arnold and the Olympia last year.
Well, yeah, I had knee surgery, and it was more than just a little scope, you know. I had a bunch of arthritis that they shaved down, and that took a long time to heal. I really couldn't train legs leading into the Olympia. And guess what? I still played top three.
Yeah.
So now a year later, year and a half later, I'm a lot healthier. I'm strong. I'm back to training the way I was training a couple of years ago when I was at my best. So there's no reason I can't fight for the number one spot right now.
Now, Jose, why were you such a fat shit, you know, going into your prep for the Arnold this year?
This year or last year?
Oh, was that last year that you were fat, that you lost all that weight?
No, it was the Olympia last year.
Oh, the Olympia. So why were you fat? Because you got frustrated with the surgery on the knee?
Well, I had the surgery, so one, I couldn't train the way I usually train. I couldn't do the step mill, and the step mill is what melts everything for me.
Right.
And I went on a 3-week honeymoon.
Yeah.
On the Mediterranean seas for 3 weeks, eating nothing but falafel and drinking Long Island iced tea.
Now, why would you do that before the Olympia?
Because I swore to my wife that I wouldn't let bodybuilding run our life, you know? And I promised her a beautiful time, and I would shut off bodybuilding until we got back. And, you know, I got back from the honeymoon at 242 pounds.
Oh, my God.
And I was legit fat. Chris was laughing at me. This is hideous.
What did Chris say when he saw you? Like, what was the first thing he did, you know, as far as diet-wise and cardio-wise with you when he saw what you looked like going into your Olympia prep?
No, I mean, he said, I mean, I'm not stupid. I can look in the mirror and see it myself. He's like, we got to get started, and you have no room for error. So it's moving, and you got to do it every day. I had to do 2 hours of cardio every day. And, you know, what happened, and I didn't tell anyone this, but first week back, I was doing 2 hours of cardio, 2 training sessions, and 1 or 2 carb meals. Well, one night I fainted.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, what the fuck? That's happened to me my entire life. I went to the hospital. I had all my shit done. And the doctor was like, simple as this. You're way overweight, you're out of shape. And, you know, you're just doing too much too fast.
Right.
And you know, it opened my eyes. And, you know, since then, I haven't really went over 230 pounds.
Yeah, that was probably smarter for you because you don't really need to at this point.
No.
So going into the Arnold this year, obviously you wanted to avenge that loss to Ashkanani. You wound up falling short, not just of one place, but 2 places. You wound up finishing in 3rd. I know you were really pissed off after that show. Talk to me about how you felt after that, and what was your mindset going, you know, into this year's Olympia prep, having known you've placed 3rd at that show.
Well, sometimes the judging is just they judge what's in front of them. You know, and I was kind of the oddball because I had big legs and big upper body, where they had massive upper body and no legs. So they were kind of more similar. You can't have David win and Ashkanani 3rd or vice versa. So they were the two most similar, and I was the odd man out.
Right.
So that's fine. And I wasn't 100%. I could have been better, whatever.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you the Olympia is going to be a different story. You know, because there's more complete physique to judge from.
Right. Were you also pissed off? I mean, do you think that motivated you? Was that, look, let's face it, you placed third at the Olympia last year. You weren't at your best. I mean, you have to say, well, if I was at my best, man, I would have killed this show. But you weren't. And then you go into the Arnold and you look really good, but you place third again. And obviously, David Henry hasn't beaten you in years. So I have to believe that kind of lit a fire under your butt.
Absolutely, Dave. I'm not one to, I get pissed the day of the show, and that's why it's probably not a good idea to do an interview right away. But I also have a very good eye, and after calming down and looking at things, I could see why I wasn't at my best, and I wasn't at my best, so they marked me where they put me. So it's up to me to be my best. And when I'm 100% at my best, there's only one guy I'm going to have a tough time with, and that's Flex, because he's the champ.
Right.
I know that. I know that in my head. It's not cocky. I know. I know bodybuilding. When I'm at my best, none of these guys should beat me.
Phil Heath has a ritual that he's been doing for the last, how many years he's won the Olympia. He always buys a new custom suit right before the Olympia. I think he actually buys two suits, but he always has a custom suit. And I always see him in it at the after party. And he continues to do it every year, obviously, because it's brought him good luck. Now, this year, I noticed you have a very fancy-looking custom suit that you had made. Johnny put a picture up there. Excuse the sneakers, because the guy came to the gym to fit you. Give me the lowdown on this thing.
So, probably 4 years ago, Flex and I were talking, Flex Lewis, and we were like, you know what? If we want this 212 group to be taken seriously, we can't be showing up in tracksuits and tank tops, and we got to be professional. So, we said we're going to wear a suit every time we go to the Olympia, and make sure you don't look like a slob. Make sure it fits you nice. And so that's 4 years ago. Now this is my fifth custom suit I bought, and so far so good. I love them. They're actually more comfortable than my normal clothes.
You look like Bugsy Siegel in this suit here, like you're a gangster from the 20s or something like that.
Yeah, I love it.
Look, hopefully it'll bring you good luck. Now, I noticed you also just bought a new house. You're becoming very domestic since you got married. You bought a house and you're fixing the whole thing up. Is that a major headache, as you get ready for the Olympia?
Of course it is. But you know what? Last year getting married was a major headache too.
Yeah.
But it's life, Dave. You got to do what you got to do, and life doesn't stop for bodybuilding.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And I bought the house at a good time. I got a good price on it. It needed to be gutted completely, and I wasn't going to wait till after the Olympia. So it is what it is. It's a pain in the ass, but I think adversity brings the best out of people.
Now, when you gut a house, Jose, you start finding things that you didn't even know were there that were problems. Has that been the case with you as well?
Of course, it's a nightmare. It's like scratching at scabs. You keep making it worse and worse and worse, and you got to get other people to come in. I've had to have my tile guy retile things 3 times because we're finding new problems.
Right.
But it's what it is.
Are you a perfectionist when it comes to stuff like this?
Yes, 100%. Mm-hmm. It's my wife. She calls the house a museum. She's like, "You're building a museum. It's not even a house. It's not even my taste." Because I like really modern looking stuff, and she wants like an old farmhouse looking shit.
I'm the same way. I like very modern. My wife is not quite as modern, so you have to kind of meet in the middle somewhere. But
right.
So you have a little of each. Well, look, it's exciting. You're over 40, so now no excuses. You gotta build the dream house, and I understand you mentioned earlier to me also that you're looking to maybe start a family after the Olympia. Is that true?
Absolutely. I can't wait. I want. That's why I got married, man. I'm ready for the next chapter of life. I want to have a baby. I seen you and Chris doing it, and all my friends are having kids, and I'm still sitting here with nothing. My brother's got 2 kids,
Yeah.
and I'd love my kids to be able to grow up with my brother's kids.
Yeah. Well, I didn't start till I was like 48. I didn't have my first kid, so you're still ahead of me if you get your wife pregnant this year. And of course, I'll be more than happy to donate my baby making protocol to your quest for a kid, because I want to see it happen as soon as possible. Now, Jose, let's face it, it could take 6 months or more to get your wife pregnant. Would that disqualify you from doing the Arnold this coming year?
Probably.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how this Olympia goes, and my wife wants to compete. She turned pro at Team Universe.
I remember.
So she wants to do the Ferrigno show out in Palm Springs because she's got family out there. And that's in October. So right after that, we'll be going after it.
All right, so you probably might be able to do the Arnold and then start the baby making process after that,
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I'm not opposed to taking a little time off.
You know
what? I said, Dave, I'll say it here first. If I make it through this Olympia healthy and do well, I will do one more, and that's it. I don't care if I win it 2 years in a row. I will do one more, and I won't compete again.
Really? So you're looking at your escape plan right now. Is that?
Yeah, I'm done. I got one more year max.
Wow. What made you come to that decision?
Because I always said 10 Olympias. I would love to do 10 Olympias. Mm-hmm. And this is my 9th. And next year would be 10. And I really got nothing to prove. It's not like I'm making zillions of dollars bodybuilding. It's time to put this passion into raising a family, into making a little bit more money, and put more focus into that than my body, selfish endeavor in doing what I'm doing. Mm-hmm.
Does the recent rash of deaths we've seen in the bodybuilding industry, does that scare you at all?
I'd be lying if I said no. I like to think that I think rationally, and I try to be as safe as I can. But I'm sure those guys thought they were being safe. I'm not young in the sport, and I think after 40, every year you're pressing your luck further.
Yeah.
So like I said, I got to prove. I want to go out on my terms. I don't want someone to tell me it's time to go. I want to go out when I'm ready.
Right.
And like I said, I try to be as safe as possible, David, and do the best I can. But I'm almost ready for that next chapter.
Jose, what do you think? The death of Dallas McCarver was a huge blow to Flex Lewis. It was like he considered him his little brother. They trained every day together in the gym. How will that, you think, affect Flex's mental state and maybe the state of his physique on the Olympia stage, or will it?
It won't at all. I think Flex is a champion. He's a true champion for a reason, because you can throw whatever you want at him and he's going to be laser focused. In fact, it might make him focus even more. It might make him better, even more dangerous. Mm-hmm. It's not going to affect him in a bad way at all. What's going to affect him is that he's in his maximum growing years right now, and he's still got to make 212.
Right.
So he's either going to come in looking flat or spilled over. Mm-hmm. So that will affect him a lot more than the things going on in his, life.
Do you think that if Flex wins this year, obviously you're hoping that's not going to be the case because you want to win, but if Flex wins again this year, do you think he might say, you know what, I've done enough of these 212s already, I got to try something else? Or do you think he's just going to stay here and kind of just keep winning the 212 every year?
I think he'll just stay because realistically, I think he could be a top 4 or 5 guy in the Open. I mean, just even height-wise, frame-wise, Bonac was lucky to sneak into the top 5, 6, and he's twice the size of Flex.
Right.
You know what I mean? If Flex's physique could stand with anyone, but size-wise and financially, it makes a lot more sense for him to be the best in the world. Like Mayweather was the best in his class, arguably the greatest fighter ever. Right. He didn't bump up a weight to go against the best light heavyweight or heavyweight. He stayed in his zone, and he's the best ever. Why should Flex go up against guys bigger than him?
Yeah, I guess that's a smart strategy. And like you said, he's making a good living for himself. He has the whole family thing going on, and he's doing all his little hobbies that he enjoys. And yeah, you're right. I mean, there is really no reason for him, I guess, to leave. As bodybuilding fans, we want to always see people making new comparisons. It's like we want to see when Evander Holyfield moved from light heavyweight up to the heavyweights, everyone got super excited because now he was fighting the big boys. And it obviously worked out for him because he became heavyweight champion. But, I think everyone secretly would love to see Flex go up to the open division and maybe kick some ass up there. Or maybe they want to see him go up there and not kick ass, and get his ass kicked. I don't know. But, obviously change is always something that we love in the bodybuilding industry. Going into this Olympia weekend, obviously Chris Aceto will be in your corner as always. You guys have any strategy changes this year, or is it the same as usual?
No, it's just to be better. Chris was on me earlier this year as far as I need you in shape sooner. I want you to take this prep seriously sooner. Because the quicker I'm in shape, the more options we have as far as, dieting and training. And I don't have to do hours upon hours of cardio. We can focus more on eating more, trying to grow. Yeah. And that's what we've done. I've maintained a fullness throughout this prep a lot better than I could have had I been doing hours of cardio.
Well, Johnny just put a video up there. You were benching like 405 like it was nothing, and you're I think 3 weeks out in that video. I mean, you're still lifting crazy weight, huh?
Yeah, that was less than a week ago.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't think there's many guys out there that still do that. I think a lot of these guys stop lifting heavy when they get close to a show, and that's something I think was a mistake that a lot of people make. Yeah,
training is the most fun for me leading into a show. And everyone always says that, imagine how strong you are in off season. I'm like, no, I'm my strongest like 3 or 4 weeks out from a show. Because that's when everything is clicking and ticking, and my sleep is good, supplementation is good, my diet is perfect, and I'm just a well-oiled machine. And I'm ready to go. Remember when I won that squat challenge?
Yeah, there was like a week out from your...
That was a week out from the Europa.
Yeah.
And that's when I was at my strongest, most cardiovascular fit. And, I plan to train as hard as I can up to the week of the show.
Yeah, wait till you have a kid, Jose, and then talk to me about how much sleep you're getting every night.
Yeah. I'll gladly trade off some sleep for a baby.
Yeah, I hear you. I can relate to that. Well, Jose, best of luck over the next 2 weeks prepping. We'll see you obviously in Vegas. We'll be interviewing you in person at the Meet the Olympians. And look, I gotta say, I'd love to see you take that title from Flex Lewis. It's an exciting time. You only got 1 more year you gave yourself, so you got to either do it this year or next year. I'd love to see it happen this year. Best of luck.
Thank you, Dave. I always appreciate the support from you, and you will not be disappointed when you see me at the Olympia.
I never am, Jose. All right, that's going to take us to the end of another episode of Live With, brought to you by Yamamoto Nutrition and Pro Tan. I'm Dave Palumbo. We'll see you next time.